What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. In this video, Russia is under attack now. That's right. We're going to go over that here today. And some unexpected money going out to Americans here today. We're going to go over that here today as well. We got a lot to cover here today, so let's jump right in. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet today, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. This way, you won't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And help us reach 400,000 subscribers. We're 399,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe here. It's completely free to do so. And as always, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. Okay, so first up, Russia is under attack today. That's right. Check this out.
The notorious hacking group Anonymous has declared war on Russia and is targeting Russian websites. The group that has also targeted U.S. sites in the past now says Putin's regime is fair game. Joining us now, NBC News correspondent Tom Costello. Tom, what more can you tell us?
Well, you know, for years, the U.S. has accused the Russian government of cyber attacks, sometimes working alongside Russian cyber criminals. But now Russia is in the crosshairs. And before you celebrate, think about how quickly this could snowball into an all-out global cyber war.
This is a message to Vladimir Putin from Anonymous.
The group calls itself Anonymous, unaffiliated hackers around the world now putting Russia in the crosshairs.
Members of Anonymous have declared cyber war against your aggressive regime.
They claim they've already targeted more than 1,500 Russian websites, including Kremlin-controlled news agencies, the Ministry of Defense and Space Agency, Russian oil companies, internet providers, even TV channels.
Their call to fight in the cyberspace has resulted in a lot of websites not being available, some websites going down, and a lot of records, Russian government, Russian military records being dumped out onto the internet.
U.S. officials confirm they've seen evidence of the anonymous hacks after Russia launched a cyber and ground offensive against Ukraine.
But the real risk to Russia long term is the canceling of their access to internet infrastructure as private sector companies decide that they're going to delist or no longer carry their traffic.
Cutting off Russia from the world would also deprive everyday Russians of access to outside news and information. And cyber pros worry Russia may view the anonymous hacks as Western attacks and target U.S. government and company sites. U.S. Cybersecurity Director Jen Easterly.
How at risk is the average American or that very small business owner?
Everybody's at risk, which is why at the end of the day, they need to take the steps to protect their systems, their networks, and their data. This can happen to anyone. There is no one that is immune from potentially getting hacked.
The cybersecurity basics: never click on suspicious emails or links, use complicated passwords, and multi-step authentication. Back up your computers and keep security software up to date.
This basically ensures that he can log in even when the password is changed.
Israeli firm CyberBit uses real-world attacks to train American companies to defend themselves.
The questions organizations need to ask themselves is not if they are going to be hit, but when they are going to be hit.
As for Anonymous, now targeting Russia.
We are Anonymous. We are Legion. Expect us.
Russia has always been perceived as the cyber attacker, and now they're on the receiving end.
Instead of always being on offense, they also got to be on defense. And that really lowers their capability in some ways to also do attacks.
Yeah, that's the concern here. The cyber battlefield seems to be expanding by the day. You know, we've already seen U.S. oil pipelines, food supplies, hospitals, banks attacked in recent years. Experts say they could be targeted again, but also electric grids, dams, water systems. Everything is a potential target right now. By the way, the U.S. Cybersecurity Agency, if you're a small business or just a typical American family, they have great resources online how to protect yourself.
Yeah, so what do you think about Russia being under attack on cyber warfare here? Not necessarily from the U.S. government or from Ukraine, but from the worldwide anonymous hacker group here today, and they have already done some pretty significant damage, taking down multiple different websites, databases, exposing some documents here. Let me know your thoughts here, and we'll have to see what more might be done here. Remember, the internet basically controls almost everything nowadays. Um, so yeah, let me know your thoughts here. Also, Russia themselves says that their economy is taking, quote, serious blows. So they have confirmed that their economy is in rough shape. A Kremlin spokesperson on Wednesday said that the Russian economy was taking serious blows amid sanctions imposed by foreign governments as Moscow continues its attacks on Ukraine. Quote, Russia's economy is experiencing serious blows, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said during a call with foreign reporters. He added, but there is a certain margin of safety. There is potential, but there are some plans. Work is underway. Yeah. Biden said Russian economy is reeling and Putin alone is to blame. Meanwhile, the Moscow Stock Exchange isn't even open. They have completely closed it. So anybody who had money in the Moscow Stock Exchange, which is, like the New York Stock Exchange here in the United States, but over in Russia, they haven't completely closed. You can't even withdraw your money, as it had dropped over 40%, nearing 50% there. So imagine if you had money there. Of course, we don't, nobody over here really does, but if you lived over in Europe or in Russia, you might have. Not only has it dropped almost 50%, but now they have it just completely closed. So people just can't even withdraw their money there. And they say that they're probably going to have it completely shut until at least March 9th, the longest closure ever. Ever. This includes going back to World War II. And again, nobody's to blame but Putin. Not only that, but Russia's dollar, the ruble, continues to fall and has hit now a record low ever. So their economy just is imploding. And you take their record low of their dollar, the ruble, their stock market crashing, and now is just completely closed. And the sanctions, in addition, and now Russian assets being seized, like that $600 million yacht, as just one case. What? And now the hacker group. You got to think that what is going right for Russia? Not much. Not much. Honestly, I don't think Putin expected anything near this to happen, because when he took over Crimea, nothing like this happened. In fact, his popularity in Russia went up. And that's not happening this time. In fact, he's being protested. Thousands, even nearing 10,000 people in Russia have been arrested for protesting this time. And it's a dramatic difference. The world is uniting against him. It's not just the United States, it's Russia, it's his own people, it's all of NATO, all of the European Union. Even China has publicly come out and said, we're not allies. Even China is distancing themselves from Russia. So, yeah, it's. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be traveling to Europe, Poland, and Romania next week. Listen to what she has to say here.
We're talking about the potential for war in Europe. I mean, let's really take a moment to understand the significance of what we're talking about. It's been over 70 years. And through those 70 years, as I mentioned yesterday, there has been peace and security. We are talking about the real possibility of war in Europe. As the president has said, we believe that Putin has made his decision. Period. And but I will also say that as part of our relationship and partnership, and in the context of the alliance, we do share information, certainly, because we want to make sure that we are all working with the same information when we make these very critical and meaningful decisions.
Yeah, so you heard her there, the potential for war in Europe, more so than what's already going on in Ukraine. But let's be real here. If Putin attacks any country in NATO, which is like 29 other 29 other countries plus the U.S. or something like that in Europe, um, the U.S. would be involved as well. So we're kind of bound by the treaty there. So we would be included as well. So, and most people would probably consider that World War III. Meanwhile, here at home, we, to kind of help with inflation and combat inflation, we continue to see more and more states fight inflation by giving money back to their residents in varying different ways. We're starting to see a new trend for anti-inflation checks. If you've seen my channel, if you've been watching my show here, the last couple of days, we're seeing more and more states do that. This particular one is not anti-inflation checks, but it is money back to residents here. We're going to go over several different things here, but check this out. You can see this headline here: families claiming child tax credits to save $200 on taxes this year thanks to a new bill in Alabama. Families in Alabama who are claiming child tax credits will get an extra tax support thanks to a new bill being made into law. Governor Kay Ivey signed a child tax credit bill providing relief to families throughout the state. So, if you've watched my show, you may know that states can provide additional child tax credits or additional adult tax credits known as the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credits. So there's the child tax credits, and then the EITC, the adult tax credit, which is for low income adults. Child tax credits, adult tax credits. States can provide additional money in addition to the federal credits as well. Okay, so there's the federal credits that you get, and there's additional money that states can provide as well, like this one. The House version of the bill was approved last week. This is the state House. Remember, each state has their own House and Senate. It was pending final sign off from the governor. Alabama Daily News reports that support for the bill has been overwhelming. It passed both chambers last week, but some have been frustrated relief hasn't come sooner before tax season started. Compassion for parents working, homeschooling, and caring for young children during the pandemic helped make the law a reality. Quote, one of the problems was that people that were working and their children were not in school, so they had to pay extra money to help someone take care of their children while at work, said Representative Jim Carnes. As Senator Roberts put it, parents were at tremendous disadvantage, and that's why these incentive dollars are for. So we're grateful to get this passed. If you have two children, this is probably right around $200 that they will not pay. They'll get a tax credit on it and save $200 in taxes. In total, it is expected to save Alabama families $87 million in taxes. Given inflation and the everyday stress on from the pandemic, the tax break is especially timely. And if you've already filed taxes, all you need to do is you will need to file an amended tax return, and you can get the extra $200 if you're from the state of Alabama. Also, though, I want to remind you that there are at least 8 other states that will provide additional child tax credits on the state level that you can get up to $1,000 per child. Extra money. This is not from the federal child tax credits, but these are state programs that give you money. Here they are. California, up to $1,000 each per child Up to families with earnings up to $25,000, with those with income up to $30,000 get a reduced credit for children under the age of 6. Number 2, Colorado is rolling out a new child tax credit this year, similar to federal support. How much you can get depends on income and filing status, but the credits may be fully refundable. It will be available for Colorado residents to claim on their 2022 Colorado tax return when they file in January 2023. Idaho families can get a $205 child tax credit per child. It's non-refundable, meaning it will reduce the amount of tax you owe, but you can't get it as a check if you don't owe any tax. It was originally $130, but they increased it to $205 per child. Illinois, with kids below 17, can get $100 per child. Maine households can get $300 per child thanks to the dependent exemption tax credit. Eligibility is generally the same as the federal child tax credit. You can pause the video here on any of these screens if you want to see these full details for any state. Maryland residents with an adjusted gross income of less than $6,000 can get $500 per child with kids below the age of 17. New York has child tax credits. It's refundable. And there's a couple different criteria here, but it looks like AGI has to be less than 110,000 to 75,000, and you can get $100 per child or 33% of the federal child tax credits. Oklahoma, last but not least, you can get 5% of the federal child tax credit program. The credits are non-refundable. So 8 other different states now, in addition to Alabama, at least, that we know about. There might be a few more here. Plus, there's these additional states now offering or sending out or proposing different stimulus checks called anti-inflation checks. There's rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance going on here. There's a lot going on here still in pandemic aid. There's SNAP assistance, pandemic EBT assistance, that are extra benefits on top of normal SNAP assistance. So I will keep you up to date here with everything. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on new updates. It's completely free to subscribe and watch our videos. So I will keep you up to date. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest video next, or click here to see how states are sending out inflation relief stimulus checks, and there's probably going to be a lot more coming out here soon. So click on one of the videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.